Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Bernanke, for being here today. I would like to yield most of my time to you because I have something that I'd like for you to respond to. I find that we have some very credible people who make some incredible statements. And one of the statements that causes a good deal of consternation is that we are now doing worse than we were in '09, that the economy is in worse shape today than it was in '09. Now, I can give my opinion on it, but I don't think that it will have the impact that a person of your stature, your standing, would have. And I'm begging that you, if you would, juxtapose the auto industry with the auto industry today with '09, financial services, lending in general. Just please, if you would, so that we can bring some clarity to what I believe is an incredible statement. Kindly do so.
So nobody's satisfied with where we are today, of course, but there certainly has been significant improvement since mid-2009 when the recovery began. We've had economic growth now for about 3 years. The unemployment rate has fallen from about 10% to about 8%, obviously not as far as we would like, but still in the right direction. Banks are much stronger, have much more capital than they did a couple of years ago. Manufacturing is much stronger, has improved considerably, particularly in autos, as you mentioned. We've seen important steps in the energy area in terms of U.S. production and conservation. The housing market, which was completely dead in 2009, is still not where we'd like it to be, but is moving in the right direction. So clearly there's been improvement. I recognize that many Americans will still feel that the situation is not satisfactory, but it's gone in the right direction.
Would you say that it is not worse than it was in '09, Mr. Bernanke?
Oh, clearly.
It is not currently?
Not by all the criteria I just mentioned.
Yes, sir. And I want to just restate a couple of things. We were about to lose the auto industry. We now have the auto industry, and it's coming back. We were about to lose a good portion of the financial services industry. Larger banks were about to go under. They are now stabilizing. AIG was about to go under. We'd lost Lehman, and it now is better than it was, obviously not what it was prior to the decline. And it just amazes me that credible people will make such incredible statements, and that adds fuel to this flame of confusion that is engulfing us. People want to have someone with credibility to speak truth about the conditions. And it is just amazing that this line of logic seems to have some degree of credibility in certain circles. Now, if you would, just for the record, is the auto industry in better shape now than it was in '09?
Well, it's producing more cars and it's more profitable, yes.
Yeah. Is the banking industry in better shape now than it was in '09?
Yes, it's more profitable, has more capital, making more loans.
Is the economy in the main in better shape now than it was in '09?
Again, it's not where we'd like it to be, but many parts of the economy have improved, yes.
All right. Now, my next line of questions will have to do with something that we refer to as structural versus cyclical. You can't solve structural problems if you use cyclical solutions, generally speaking. And it's difficult to ascertain what amount of what we're dealing with is structural as opposed to cyclical. Do you have some sense of how much of what we're trying to for want of a better term, fix, what we're trying to fix is structural as opposed to cyclical?
Well, that's widely debated, and it's hard to know for certain. But I guess my view and the view of many economists is that a good bit of our unemployment problem, for example, remains cyclical, which means it can be addressed in principle by monetary and fiscal policies. But structural problems are probably increasing, and in particular, the very long-term unemployed. The problem is, the risk is that they will over time become unemployable, and that they will contribute, therefore, to a structural issue.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I yield back.